How's it? Today's Monday, December 19th. Happy anniversary to my parents. Um, I love you guys. Also, I am at the gym extremely early today. There's nobody here, so I was able to lift without any of the music like coming on. Like I'm listening to music in my earphones, but um, you can kind of hear the sounds of the gym. I actually really love it. Yeah, I'm here a little bit early because I watched Avatar 2. I don't remember the way of the water, way of water, the way of the water. I don't know. That movie was sick. I'm very happy that I went to see it with Becca. She was very excited about it when she heard that it was coming out, and so we made it a point to find some time to go do that today. But yeah, as far as today's workout goes, I'm doing this little overhead warm up. Steve said snatch, push, press plus overhead squat. I legitimately had no idea what he wanted me to do, what weight or anything, but it is functioning as a warm up. So I am just going up to, I guess, where I'm power snatching for today. So, and I'm doing a million reps for this. So I'm doing 5 plus 3 overall. So I go up to 70 for this. It's, yeah, it's not super hard. It is just functioning as a warm up. So it is what it is. And being as early as it is at the gym, it is extremely cold. When I walked in, it was 49 degrees on the thermostat. So that was great. I had a chance to turn on the heater, and it got all the way up to 58 by the time I left. So that wasn't super awesome. But yeah, here is my quote unquote top set. It's my last warm up essentially before my snatches. I have quite a bit of speed on that, so it's not super difficult. After this, I move into my power snatches. So power snatches are looking at 3 sets of 4 today. Whereas last week I did 3 sets of 3 at 70, and then 3 sets of 3 plus 1 at 90 for power clean and power jerk. Oh, just 1 second here. It's really cold in here. Yeah, so I moved into my snatches after that. But last week as I mentioned, I did 3 sets of 3 plus 1 for the power clean and power jerk at 90. I spoke with Steve before the start of this workout, and he was saying if I continue try to push the intensity on these, I'm gonna get stuck very quickly with what my goals are moving forward. So today's goal was just to do um, a little bit higher volume. So we're doing sets of 4 rather than sets of 3. And he was saying that hopefully moving forward I'll be able to do that for sets of 5 next week. I think the power cleans are not going to be an issue at all. I do think the power snatches might give me some trouble here. I also think that maybe if I lift a little bit later in the day, that would help. Just because, like, warming up itself was a challenge. Here's my last warm up here at 60. I'm trying my best to keep my chest again on top of the bar and be as vertical as I can. My first set is here. And like basically what that means is I am trying to start a little bit further forward here. So you can see on that first rep, I do a pretty solid job of that. Second rep is not super bad, but not as good as the first one. That one is, I don't know what's really going on there. And here's my last one. It's going to be a little bit close to, yeah, now that I look at that one wasn't that close. My last one on my second set was close. I think this start position is going to help me a lot moving forward here. That second rep there was, I think, better than the second rep on the first set. Not as good as the first rep on either set. As kind of comparisons go. This is the one where I basically do a, if I recall correctly. Oh no, I misremembered. That was actually pretty good. Maybe it's this set. I guess I don't remember. But I think what I'm kind of thinking about is actually yesterday I went to Hassle-Free Winter Breaker to support G1. As he lifted, he hit a bunch of really big PRs yesterday. And something that I noticed that he does a lot better than I do is his start position is so much more consistent than mine is. And I think maybe if I'm not doing as many reps, I think my start position would be better. But at, at a lot of different weights, his start position is really solid. So that's something that I'm trying to emulate. I'm always, looking at how I can improve and what ways I can better my lifting overall. So I think that kind of going to meets and watching, you know, 30 people lift, it's really refreshing to see where I am, and I feel like there's always something I can learn from watching anybody lift, which might not seem the way that I think about things, but I have seen a lot of lifting, in my career, I guess, quote unquote, that I feel like there are certain things that people do well and certain things that people do to allow them to actually lift the weights that they do. And it's always an opportunity to learn. Here's my first set at 90 of 4+1 here. I think that as far as the way that my cleans are going, I end up getting a little bit behind the bar, so my hip extension comes a little bit later than I would like it to, if that makes sense. So I'm not as upright at extension, which produces that kind of like forward backwards movement. Oftentimes that might look like jumping forward for other people, but I don't really jump forward. I will probably jump back if anything. I think similarly, my start position on my cleans could use a lot more like dialing in as far as consistency goes, but it's just like one of those things right now where I'm just trying to get through the amount of sets here. I actually think this is the one where I don't do the power. I think this is the one. All I remember is that I didn't, yeah, that's it. All I remember is that I didn't hit a power on one of the reps for today. That was humbling for sure. And then at that point, if that is happening, it's not because my legs are not strong enough, it's because my upper body is starting to fatigue to the point where I can't hold the position the way that I normally do. So I think what I was thinking about earlier as far as my chest position at extension, you can see the difference between the first rep on this set and the second rep on this set. That first rep has a little bit of delay as far as where my chest is after extension or at extension, whereas these 2 and 3 here are really kind of getting into back extension before my hips extend, which is kind of a weird thing to say, but when you think about it, it's like the difference between me leaning back versus not leaning back, because you can have hip extension without back extension, and you can have back extension without hip extension, but I mean they oftentimes they come together. So that's just a thought to think about how I'm thinking about my power cleans and stuff. After that, I did some snatch RDLs here, just 3 sets of 3, because I was running out of time and I didn't want to do super high reps. I think moving forward, I will lower the weight back to like 70 and do like 5 5s or maybe 3 8s or something like that. I'm looking at like 25-ish reps, maybe 24, Yeah, and then after that, I finished off with my pull-ups and my GHD sit-ups. We're back on that for my Monday training sessions, so that's fun. But yeah, I don't know if anyone's really watching me at this point. This is a pretty long video, but um, I like the sounds of the gym, so maybe you do too. But yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Shoots.